Have you ever considered how a single natural resource, flowing across borders, can become a focal point of intense competition and international friction? Riparian upstream and downstream interests collide primarily because their fundamental needs and priorities for shared river water are often diametrically opposed. Upstream nations, by their geographical position, control the initial flow, while downstream nations are entirely dependent on those upstream actions for their water supply, both in terms of quantity and quality. The core mechanism of this collision lies in the immutable physical reality of a river basin. Upstream countries typically prioritize water extraction for agricultural irrigation, hydroelectric power generation, industrial use, and municipal consumption, aiming to maximize their developmental potential from the resource. Conversely, downstream countries relying on a consistent and predictable volume of water, maintaining its quality, to sustain their existing agricultural systems, municipal supplies, navigation, and vital ecosystems. Actions taken upstream, such as building dams, diverting water, or polluting the river, directly impact the availability and usability of that water downstream. This creates a zero-sum perception, where one nation's gain appears to be another's loss. Addressing these complex challenges often involves principles of international water law, such as the concept of equitable and reasonable utilization. This principle suggests that all riparian states have a right to a reasonable and fair share of the water, balancing their needs against those of other basin states. Furthermore, the principle of not causing significant harm requires upstream states to avoid activities that would substantially damage the interests of downstream neighbors. Practical steps include establishing joint river basin commissions to facilitate dialogue, shared data, and cooperative management plans. Implementing these frameworks helps move nations from confrontational stances to collaborative solutions, focusing on benefit sharing rather than just water sharing. An interesting dynamic to consider is the concept of hydrohegemony, where one riparian state may leverage its power advantages, whether military, economic, or technological, to secure disproportionate control over shared water resources. Understanding these power imbalances is crucial in analyzing why some agreements succeed and others fail. The absence of a strong, universally enforceable international court for water disputes means that agreements often depend on bilateral diplomacy and the political will of the states involved. These complexities underscore the need for innovative diplomatic approaches and robust institutional frameworks to mediate these inherent tensions. Ultimately, recognizing the legitimate, yet often conflicting, needs of both upstream and downstream riparian states is the first step toward forging sustainable solutions. By embracing principles of cooperative management, international law, and benefit sharing, nations can transform potential sources of conflict into opportunities for regional stability and shared prosperity, ensuring the long-term health of vital river systems for everyone.